Hello everybody, Hyper Mario Sunshine here, and welcome to my Nintendo Direct predictions. As tomorrow at 9 a.m. there is a Nintendo Direct weirdly on a Friday. Now, you might be wondering, hey, why is Friday such a big thing? Like why are you talking about Friday? Well, normally we usually have our directs between either Tuesday and Thursday. Obviously we didn't have it this past Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday is today. They announced it back on Wednesday. Now, some people may think that it's likely because of 9/11, which could be the case. It also could, more likely be, is that Mario's 40th anniversary, which is tomorrow not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow on the 13th. So yeah, Mario's 40th anniversary might also be the reason why they probably push it to Friday. Now, we got some things to talk about, and we got my predictions. So there is quite a few things that we could be talking about. But yeah, we got our, Friday, September 12th Direct. So we're going to be looking at our Direct, and if you guys could check out the left, we have, my bingo sheet. And obviously I kind of put, the free space as Mario's 40th. I mean, it felt pretty obvious, so yeah. Now, there is some spoilers, you guys probably have already seen. And I mean, it's already been, almost 3 months by now, 2.5. So there is some spoilers on here if you somehow haven't played Donkey Kong Bonanza, but we do have quite a bit to go over, and yeah, there is some stuff that are new, there is some stuff that I still think are happening, there is some stuff that are out of here, you wouldn't expect it, and I'm just throwing a wild pitch to see if it'll be in the strike zone, to see if we get this. Alright, so I think we're going to start off from top left and go all the way to the bottom right. And I think we'll start off with... Actually, we'll make this a little bit interesting. I'm thinking we're going to start off with, obviously, the Mario stuff, the big stuff. We're going to look at the top left with the Mario movie. It's kind of been leaked, technically, already. From what we've seen, it's absolutely insane that we kind of already have the... hold on, let me see if I could search it up real quick. I don't want to, accidentally show anything. But, just give me a moment, and we'll show you that real quick, what I'm talking about. There is a little bit of some leaks, perhaps, but we'll show you that right away. Alright, cutting away there. As you can see, Universal has registered domains for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So, yeah, I kind of already I made this bingo prior to this coming out today. I made this as soon as the Direct was announced. But yeah, just a few hours ago, we got Universal registering a domain for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which means this movie is very much likely going to be focusing on the Mario Galaxy games. We're probably going to be introduced to Rosalina, Bowser Jr. We're probably going to have a whole bunch of new Mario species being shown off as well that haven't been seen in the movies quite yet. I mean, it was kind of already heavily hinted at with Lumali being in the first movie. Not only that, but these deodorants that were leaked a long while back. Yeah, there's about 6 of them registered in the Canadian Intellectual Property Office, with Brooklyn Bounce, which, as we can see, is with Yoshi, who's likely still in Brooklyn and hatches out of the egg, like we see at the end of the movie. Desert Detour, which has Luigi on it. Cosmic Quest, this could be Mario or Rosalina. Castle Crush, this could be Bowser. Space Mischief, this could be either Luma or Bowser Jr. And Lost Cove could potentially also be Rosalina or Luma. But yeah, we do have a bit of leaks that already happened. This was back in July when these images first came out of the Old Spice Super Mario Galaxy movie. And yeah, it even has the logo for it as well. So now you may ask yourself, well, if it's a Mario Galaxy 2 movie, wasn't it rumored to be a Super Mario World movie? Well, it was rumored, and there was some stuff for it, but it seems like they're going to Galaxy. It kind of made sense for it to be World next, because, Yoshi's the character, it'd be more expanding of the Mario world, and then the third movie would lead to Galaxy, because, once you're done with the world, you go to space. So, yeah, I think... this is very likely going to appear in the Direct, or either that or they're going to announce that, hey, a trailer is going to be dropping tomorrow on Mario Day. Make sure to check it out at this time. So they'll probably do something like that maybe if they don't outright reveal the trailer at the Direct. Next up, we're going to be going sort of related to the movie, and that's with Super Mario Galaxy 2 getting a remaster or some sort of HD port. So that has been rumored pretty recently, in fact, and some very credible sources are backing it up. Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy 2 was the only one not at 3D All-Stars when it's originally released 5 years ago, and it's now heavily rumored. We're unsure if it's going to be on its own, if it's going to be like a full-on remaster similar to Kirby's Return to Dreamland, where there's some extra content and it visually gets like a overall, not like a super overall visually change, while still keeping the same gameplay. But yeah, Galaxy 2 does make a lot of sense, especially if they want to cross-promote it with the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, as for when this possibly could come out, it could be very much similar to the Metroid Prime remaster, or it could kind of be like 3D All-Stars, where it's announced and it comes out in a 60-day window. So yeah, I think this is also very likely. Next up, a bit of a wild one is Mario Baseball finally getting a brand new entry. Now, you may be wondering, didn't you say this for like the past 2 directs? Well, I mean, not all predictions are confident, but I think this time around I feel confident on it. I'm going to show you a few examples as to why, as we'll cut away just a little bit. Alrighty, so as you can see on my right here, this is the Seattle Mariners. They're an MLB team. Nintendo used to own them fully, but now they only own 10% of them after selling a majority of their ownership to other stockholders and buyers. But they still have a 10% ownership, and they still advertise, especially recently, they had the Nintendo Switch 2 patches on both the Mariners away jerseys, while having the Nintendo patch on the home jerseys. Not only that, but we see recently that on September 14th, which is the day after the Mario's 40th anniversary, that they're already kicking off the celebrations with a Mario Seattle Mariners hat. As we can see, Cal Rayg, and I believe that is Julio Rodriguez. They're both wearing the hat there for advertisement. Now, you may be saying that can't really be the only reason, because Nintendo's having this cross-promotion with an MLB team that they're already used to. Well, I got a little something else. If you take a look at Nintendo's lineup for the NSO, we only see that Mario Strikers was the only one that was on that lineup of that's a Mario sports game. But if you think about it, especially with Camelot, which we'll get to later, having job listings that don't really fit the Mario Golf and Mario Tennis builds, I think Camelot is currently not working on either of those games, meaning Nintendo needs some kind of Mario sports game to fill that gap. And baseball has been resurging in its popularity, both in North America and in Japan, and I think that is very likely. And another thing that also happened recently, we'll go to it real quick, and that's this Mario baseball toy that was shown a few days ago at the Tokyo Toy Show. Or Toy Show. Could be, I think this person might have either misspelt it, or that's actually what it's called. But we do see a Mario baseball, like one of those like mini, like kind of like arcade baseball toy things that you'll see. If you ever play Toy Field and the actual Mario baseball games, this is basically what it's based off of. So as you can see here, we got this image showing the field, and it does have a lot of old GameCube renders, but it also includes this new Donkey Kong render. So we do have a brand new DK render just for this game, this little like toy. And the fact that they still have a Mario baseball, like, you know, they still are interested in Mario baseball in some way, shape, or form, is very interesting. And I think baseball is very likely, as they do need something to fill that role of a Mario sports title during the anniversary, especially because I think Nintendo would like some sort of fulfillment. So yeah, not only do I see this, Mario Strikers being the only one of the Mario sports games that are on Nintendo GameCube that are there. Because if you're wondering why am I talking about that, well, usually Nintendo likes to leave out games on purpose, just to advertise current games or games that are coming out soon. If you're looking at the lineup that we have left, we don't have Mario Kart Double Dash or Kirby Air Ride, or even Donkey Kong Jungle Beat or Donkey Kongas 1, 2, and 3. We only have the ones that are currently available, and that makes a lot of sense because guess what? Mario Kart World came out on launch. Kirby Air Riders came out. Donkey Kong Bonanza came out. Now, I don't think there's any Mario Strikers game that's going to be coming out soon. Because I think, well, non-intelligent systems, Next Level Games is currently working on a Luigi's Mansion game. And obviously you may be saying, but Luigi's Mansion 1 is on there, so why? But I mean, the thing is, Luigi's Mansion 1 is also a drastically different game. It's very much smaller, and it isn't at the great depths that Luigi's Mansion 3 was. Secondly, as I mentioned before, Camelot is likely, in my opinion, I think is working on a Golden Sun game. So leaving them to not be able to make a Mario Golf or Mario Tennis for the Switch 2. Leaving Bandai Namco to be open up to make a Mario Baseball game. So with all the evidence I present, I think a Mario Baseball game does have a better chance than usual. Now, obviously, Nintendo wants to reach out to their European markets, and because it's also one of their other bigger markets, but in my opinion, I think they really are probably going to be trying for baseball, especially because baseball's been resurging in popularity. Lastly, out of the Mario stuff that I want to talk about is King K. Rool and Void Kong in Mario Kart World. Now, yeah, we got some Bonanza spoilers in here. So, if you take a look at Mario Kart World's credits, you see that there's 2 voice actors that aren't credited. And if you look at Donkey Kong Bonanza, these 2 voice actors are sharing voices with 2 characters from Donkey Kong Bonanza, one being King K. Rool and the other being Void Kong. So I think Mario Kart World might be getting some free DLC, or maybe even a expansion, with a expansion focusing on Donkey Kong, and we'll be getting King K. Rool and Void Kong as 2 of the characters that we're going to be getting from this. Now, there could be more. We could get Grumpy and Poppy Kong as well. That could also be a possibility, but we're not quite sure. It could just be King K. Rool and Void Kong. So yeah, moving on, we're going to be discussing about the non-Mario stuff that we're likely going to be seeing outside of the 40th anniversary and any new games. Now, also, I kind of wanted to put a new 3D Mario, but I kind of didn't want this whole board being filled with Mario stuff. Obviously, just to add a bit more flavor, a lot more flavor and diversity. So we'll be showing what else is going to happen. So I think next up, which I want to talk about, and we're going to be talking about some of the games that we have seen before, but we don't really have any release dates. So we're going to be let's talk about Tomodachi Life. Yes, this game has been announced for quite a while, and we still haven't gotten a new trailer, whether that's from on Twitter or some kind of shadow drop on Nintendo Today. We have not gotten a new trailer since that quote-unquote final Switch Direct that we got. But yeah, will we see it? Maybe. We still need to see release date from it, more actual gameplay. It would be great. Obviously, they could also say that's coming to Switch 2 as well with the Switch 2 edition, or that if you buy the Switch 1 version, it gets a Switch 2 upgrade, like, runs better, runs faster, etc. We could see that. Hopefully a release date, or hopefully a new trailer. Next up, Zelda Age of Imprisonment. I think this is finally also getting a release date. We'll be seeing that in the Direct. Splatoon Raiders. I think we're finally going to get another trailer for it, and also a release date for it, because we didn't get a release date for it when it originally came out. So hopefully the Splatoon research team finally uncovers the release date for it. Next up, Metroid Prime 4 finally getting its release, and on my bingo, I'm thinking it's going to be December. I think that it fills that similar role that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did, where it's a big game and it feels like a niche audience, and it'll come out in December. It's still perfect in time for the holiday season as well, so I think it is probably our December game, especially seeing that Pokemon is in October, and we'll likely get our Mario remaster, whether it's Galaxy 2 or some other kind of game, or if it's like a 3D All-Stars 2 in a sense, in October, because I don't think it's going to come out immediately, or at least like a physical version will be out in October. Next up, Duskblood. I think Duskblood is the name of it, the Soulsborne-like game. I think we're likely going to be seeing a release date for that, or a new trailer. Final Fantasy VII. We're also probably going to be seeing a release date for that, as it was previously announced. And, oh, we also forgot Rhythm Heaven Groove. I also think we're probably going to get a new trailer. Something just, I don't know if it's going to be similar in Tomodachi Life, it'll just be a trailer with no release date quite yet, or if it'll straight up just be like, hey, not Tomodachi, Rhythm Heaven Groove is coming out in this month in 2026. Alright, let's get to the more nitty-gritty stuff. And let's go with our first one, which is these are some that have been rumored or something that's come out recently. Not particularly a full-on, not like a leak or anything, or some of them have been leaked somewhat, but haven't come to fruition. And we're going to start with Fire Emblem. Yes, I think we'll be getting either a general Fire Emblem or finally getting that long-speculated Genealogy of the Holy War remake. I think it's been long overdue, and the last time we got Fire Emblem was about 2 years ago, either 2 or 3 years ago, with Engage being announced in a September Direct, and it came out January, just a few months after. Fire Emblem definitely fits that time slot, around, early next year, definitely springtime as well. So I think we could be seeing a Fire Emblem game somewhere in the Direct. I think this is way more likely than it once was. Next up, Astral Chain. Yeah, I think we might be getting a sequel. Recently, Nintendo filed trademarks for Super Mario Galaxy, Earthbound, and Astral Chain. Now, yeah, trademarks aren't always 100% going to mean that something's going to come out of it. But I think this time around, I think it might make sense, especially with the heavily rumored Galaxy 2 remaster and also the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I think it's very possible that we could see an Astral Chain 2, especially because there's been a very heavy speculative and also rumored that Astral Chain 2, it was in the works from Platinum, but Nintendo wasn't seeing the results that they wanted and kind of had to bring in some outside help to kind of outsource the game because Platinum's recent struggles. But I could see that they could announce the game while it's still developing. Yeah, I think this is very likely, especially because Nintendo now has the full ownership of Astral Chain. And again, the evidence with what's going on with Platinum Games and Nintendo probably not liking what's going on there, and they want to outsource it a bit so that way the game could, not only look and run well, but also, come out at a time that they want to. So, yeah. Next up, we are going to talk about let's see, actually. Fine. Okay, yeah, let's go with, speaking of that same trademark thing, Earthbound. Earthbound being trademarked, that is very interesting, and I think it could potentially be possible. I don't know if it would be Earthbound, I don't know if it would be Mother 3 getting a remake. I feel like if Mother 3 were to come to the West, it'd probably be through a remake. Probably to fix up a bunch of, the music, so that way it wouldn't be, some, person could be like, hey, they're using this song, trademark, go after Nintendo for using that. You got some really... Nintendo will probably get Nintendo'd by some other company, especially with the Batman track being referenced in Fighting Mr. Batty. So yeah, WB coming in like, hey, you're using the Batman theme. Even though I love that theme, yeah. And it could be utilized as a parody, but I'm not too sure. But I could also see the original Earthbound getting a remake as well, since I believe recently was Earthbound's 30th anniversary, I have to say. So yeah, I could see that as well, a full-on remake of either Earthbound or Mother 3, especially with the trademarks that were filed recently. Again, trademarks are very 50-50. Next up, another thing that I talked about earlier, Golden Sun. I think Camelot is working on a new Golden Sun instead of Mario Golf or Mario Tennis. And especially with how long they've been developing something, I feel like they wanted to, well, especially if that would create new models, make the engine for the game, etc. I think we're getting a new Golden Sun, or maybe even a remake, but I'm leaning more towards a new entry, especially because they showed off in a really cool trailer for Golden Sun 1 and 2. Now you may be thinking, what about Dark Dawn? Well, yeah, we could see that as a potential remake, but at the same time, I feel like they might save that for an inevitable DS NSO where it has its own remake. It's like, and that will be like, hey, Now all the Golden Sun games are on the Nintendo Switch. Is now on Nintendo Switch 2. You can now play all the games. So yeah, I could see that very much being a possibility. Again, it's not very likely, but especially with I think with the recent job hirings that Camelot has released, I think an RPG is more than likely going to happen. I think Golden Sun is finally coming back. Next up for our Nintendo craziness, I think we're going to be getting no Kid Icarus, F-Zero, or Star Fox, as nothing ever happens. Yes, I am going to be that much of a party pooper to you fans out there. I don't think we're going to get anything from those 3 series. I do apologize for anybody. I'm trying to make a little joke out of it, but I'm just trying to find a little something that ain't going to happen. I always usually have something that I don't think is going to happen inside one of these videos. And lastly, actually, wait, 2 more things. Actually, 3. I think there is not even a speculative, a straight up leaked. We don't know which one it is, but we are hearing from Switch Force and Necrofelipe that there is and Riddler Coup, that there is a Pokemon. Actually, I'm not sure about Switch Force. I'm not 100% about him, but I know Riddler Coup and especially Necrofelipe, who I think is more trustworthy, saying that there is a Pokemon spin-off going to be announced in this Direct. And I've been saying this for quite a while. I'm not sure if I said it in my previous predictions or even just my reactions. But with the Nintendo Switch having mouse controls, I think our most likely spin-off that is going to be coming back to Pokemon is Pokemon Ranger. I think the mouse controls fit it perfectly. I think since there's no word on anything Mystery Dungeon related, and we don't know how well that other Mystery Dungeon game sold for us to get a new Mystery Dungeon, and we know that Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX sold pretty well, but we don't know if Pokemon Company is really interested at the moment in having a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. But I think a Ranger game really makes a lot of sense, especially if Pokemon wants to use the gimmick of the mouse controls. The mouse controls make for a perfect styler, to circle around the Pokemon. Like, you could basically draw the circle around them, point and click with, like, the Joy-Con. Like, I'm going to grab my Joy-Con right now. Like, you just spin it around. Basically like a mouse. It's the perfect way. So yeah, that's my prediction for that. I think we're going to be either getting a remake or a straight-up new game, kind of like new Pokemon Snap. Next up, I think we might see something from Monolith Soft. Whether it's Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Definitive Edition, which people have been kind of wanting for a while, or something more leading up to, like, we're going to be seeing a new Xenoblade or Xenosaga, or even just Switch 2 upgrades for the Xenoblade games, which gives them native 60 frames per second, and 4K, etc. That'd be great as well. That would also count. Lastly, second to last, I think we're going to be getting a teaser for Animal Crossing. Something Animal Crossing. Now, this is also kind of in that, Uncharted territory, but I think with Splatoon Raiders being a thing, I don't think Nintendo, that portion of the team is focused on a Splatoon 4 at the moment. I think since they're going back and forth, since we just went from Splatoon 3 and it finished wrapping up, and this is probably a smaller team from that Splatoon 3 team, along with like some other team as well from Monolith Soft that are working on Raiders, while the majority of the team that works on Splatoon and Animal Crossing are currently working on a new Animal Crossing for Switch 2, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Especially because I would see like Nintendo would want one of their big sellers to be having its latest entry on the Switch 2 as soon as possible, especially because they already have this thing likely in the works since probably 2021 or 2022. And usually Animal Crossing games take about like 5 to 6 years of development time. Now, they could have also straight up started working at this after 2020 as well, because Splatoon 3 came out in 2021, if I recall correctly, or 2022. So yeah, I think it's very possible we could be seeing some sort of Animal Crossing teaser, but I'm not 100% like confident in that, not even 50% confident, but I put it on there just for a bit of a wild guess. Lastly, also, we're going to probably see more Switch 2 either additions or updates. So, for example, a Switch 2 version of Pikmin 4, maybe, Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, or something like that. Either that, or, as I mentioned before, Xenoblade games finally getting native 60 FPS and 4K, or Paper Mario Thousand Year Door also getting 60 FPS and 4K, etc. Next up, we're going to be talking about some third-party stuff. Kind of want to save this for last. I did say, well, we already kind of said something with Duskbloods, but I think we're going to be seeing our release date finally for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. I think we are also finally going to see Metaphor. I placed this on multiple times already, also for the last Direct too. So I think we'll finally see Metaphor, especially because Atlus has been supporting the Switch 2 as of late, especially with Persona 3 Reload coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2, unfortunately on a Game Key card. And I think we're going to be getting the Resident Evil games on Nintendo Switch 2, especially because of Switch 4 saying there's 3 7s are going to be featured in it. I think the other one is going to be Dragon Quest 7, since that's also kind of been leaked and speculated to be that other 7 game. A Dragon Quest 7 remake, Resident Evil 7, and Final Fantasy 7, I think, fit those 3 7s. And, yeah, and there's also people leaking that Final Fantasy, like all the Final Fantasy games, are going to be popping up on the Switch 2 now. So, yeah, as you can see, I put that Family Guy edit of Leon Kennedy eating all the food on the table. That's all the content that Resident Evil's getting, and Dante, Mega Man, and Morrigan are all starving. So, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Lastly, the biggest wild pitch, and that is we're going to be seeing another Sony/PlayStation property coming to the Nintendo console. We last got Hot Shot Golf, or Everybody's Golf, however you like to say it, but this time around, I think we're getting a different one, especially one that Sony's trying to push lately. I think this series kind of fits a very Nintendo-like vibe that isn't really like a 3D platformer in a sense. And I think Gravity Rush is coming to the Nintendo Switch. I think a lot of Nintendo fans, more so towards like the JRPG side, like, you know, like Fire Emblem, Xenoblade. It's not, I don't think Gravity Rush is an RPG, but I just think like the style of it fits it way more. I just think it's a very Nintendo vibey-like game, in a sense. And I think that would be perfect for the Nintendo Switch 2 or Switch 1. I think that would be our next... it's just, again, this is a wild one. This isn't me 100% confident on this. This is like me 5% or even 1%. But this is just me throwing a wild guess out there, because it would be pretty cool if I actually do get this right. I think we're going to be getting Gravity Rush as our latest PlayStation to Nintendo console. PlayStation games or IP to Nintendo consoles. But yeah, that is everything. Let me know down below what you guys think of my list, and let me know what your guys' predictions are for Nintendo Direct tomorrow. As this is going to be 1 hour long, I'm absolutely hype, and I will be live streaming it. I'm really excited, so check it out. I'll also link my Twitch down below for when I'll be going live. But yeah, love my videos with that like button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you all tomorrow for the Nintendo Direct. Peace.